So welcome back, all of my stars. I wanted to do this video a little bit differently than what you're used to seeing. It is a little bit shorter than some of the videos that I've done in the past. What we're basically doing today, everyone, is that we are choosing spirit messages. They could be for any time. It could be now all the way till the end of the year, anytime really. Spirit messages that are coming from 3 different places. So what does Spirit have to talk about with love, with money and abundance, with career, with what does Spirit have to give for the spiritual side of things or from your own spirit? So those are 3 different groups. So the first reading that we're going to be doing today is going to be about love. It is just a specific love reading. It's a general reading, so it will resonate with some of you who did pick this. If you are single, looking for someone in a relationship, anything like that, this reading is for you, group number 1. So this is focusing mostly on love. There are the other choices of either money or career or just spirit messages for the sake of spirit of what is going on spiritually. So I just wanted to give you that rundown to see if this is in fact the group that you are interested in choosing, and we are going to be going from there. So with this love reading, what we're looking at is we're starting with a general message. Usually I do messages at the end of readings. This time I'm going to do it in the beginning to make that message kind of from spirit become more apparent in the whole entire reading. And then I'm going to move to oracle cards, tarot, things like that. So with group number 1, we are doing this message first. I did have the rose quartz candle out there because that symbolizes love, opening up of the heart chakra, all of that. So this message for love is the following. So I share my world with animals which have all kinds of strengths. So this message is about being an animal, being a part of nature, a part of others. So this is interesting too, because this can be an animalistic feeling towards love, or it can be mostly being associated with many different types of people around you. So group number 1, if you are looking for love, if you are looking for a sense of that, understand that not all is hopeless. There are many, many different people out there for you. There are many different people that you can connect with. There are many different people who you can talk to, that type of thing. I think that a lot of you who are coming to this reading with spirit messages for love are really feeling like there isn't a lot of people, like-minded people in general that you are meeting or seeing. Now, we can get into the pandemic. I'm not going to get into that because that could also be a factor, but it's not the main reason probably why you might not be meeting someone at this time, but to kind of show that you are surrounded by people who are all different things come from those type of people that you're surrounded by. Group number 1, they have all their different strengths. Now, this card could also talk about, when we talk about love, the connection with animal spirit guides, the connection that you could have to a specific animal if you're seeing that in a dream state, if you're looking at what that animal does represent in terms of love, in terms of if you are single and you are seeing a specific animal a lot, or if you're looking into something like that, that is something that could come up for you also too. If you are single and maybe looking for someone, maybe the animal totem has some type of meaning. So if you are having dreams or anything like that, group number 1, it's very important that you pay attention to that and then try to see what animal is most prevalent and what is that basically meaning for you as far as finding a partner, finding, you know, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a twin flame? Are you looking for a soulmate? Are you looking for a person, you know, just for right now? That is also a part of the animalistic nature, is that if you are just looking for someone right now, that's not necessarily love, but it's something that needs to be dealt with if that's all that you're doing, to try and actually find someone. So there's a lot of different meanings to this. Group number one, especially when it comes to love, we can kind of take that message and see what kind of happens or what is yielded from that. Now, I'm going to go over here to, we have 3 different oracle cards, and what I wanted to do here is talk about, if you are single and if you are looking for a relationship or looking for love, kind of the messages of what that would entail if you are with someone already or have a partnership or anything like that and you're choosing this, kind of what are those spirit messages kind of giving to you, and then moving on to the sacred destiny of what is the outcome of those type of messages. So this is what the messages are that are coming towards you. Okay, so we talked about the animalistic situation here, which is interesting because we're pulling out of the Season of the Witch oracle cards. We're pulling out the wolf. So you guys, if you have had a connection at some type of point with a wolf, with wolf medicine, wolf spirit, anything like that, it would be a very good thing for you to look that up if that's something you're seeing or anything like that. Now, also, we talk about the wolf howling at the moon. We talk about the moon card in tarot, that not everything is as it seems, or, you know, that nighttime kind of mysterious situation. This whole thing with the wolf, and especially with wolf medicine, it is very, very eternal, you guys. It's very much like, because wolves mate for life. There's a lot of things having to do with this particular animal that's showing that if you are single, you are looking for your forever person. You could also be in a state where you are feeling more animalistic towards things than you were before in the past. You may also be feeling very lustful during this time. That could be something that's happening to group number one. Or if you're single, you're looking basically for that person to kind of see the good and the bad, the good parts about you, the shadow energy about you also too. So this message is very prevalent. So it says, devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. So this is kind of interesting too, because this card in particular, group number one, gives you the kind of feeling that you could be a little bit freer in love than you have. Maybe there is something specific that's been holding you back a lot of times when it comes to love and romance, when it comes to commitment. If you guys are looking for something having to do with commitment, Spirit is sort of letting you know that what is beneath the surface will soon come to the surface with the wolf card. So, you know, and maybe doing some moon work, some moon energy work during the new moon, during the full moon. We have a full moon in Cancer that is on Monday, January 17th. So if you're looking to kind of find out who this other person is, if you're single, that would be the time to do it. Or if you are already in a committed relationship, letting yourself be a little bit freer to the different types of sides. So what that means, because we're all adults here, it means that there are many different sides to love, and you guys can take and run with that. There is a physical side, there is an emotional side, there is a mental side. This is a lot of time for physical. Physical and emotional more so than mental. And again, you guys can take that and run with it because you know what I'm talking about. In other words, that there is an animalistic thing that is happening within each of you that has to kind of surface a little bit more than it has. This is not a time, group number one, for you all to be shy about what you feel or who you feel it for with that wolf energy. Yeah, so we also have the witch energy here, which is very, very powerful. So what this kind of shows to me a lot, group number one, is that if you did choose this to know about love or to know about spiritual messages about love, this is also a very spiritual journey that you're on. So when we talk about witch, we could talk about the magician, we can talk about someone who has that ability to conjure what they want, to conjure up a good love, a good situation, putting it out into the universe. You have this type of magnetism that brings a lot of people, different people towards you, group number one. Now, what's important about this whole thing with the witch and the wolf is that we have something where who do you want to be in your inner circle? Who do you want to have around you? Why is that so important? Well, the thing is because you're giving a lot to others. You're giving a lot out to others. You're giving a lot of energy to others. You're giving a lot of your time to others, especially if you're single. This is really the time when you are getting out there, when you are going out there, when you're trying to find this other person and you're having this attraction from a lot of people that you don't want in your circle. And that can be a huge problem, group number one, because you have just such a magnetic ability. It's very, very hard when you are searching for something that's a little bit more meaningful than just the same situation, the same thing over and over again. And that power inside of yourself, be it sexual, emotional, mental, is coming through now stronger than ever, and that is going to attract. But when you're attracting, group number one, especially with that witch energy, you have to know what you're putting out is what you're going to get back. So if you are putting out positivity, abundance, that love, that heart chakra, if you're opening that up and putting that out there, then you're going to get that back. If that is not the case, and you are simply just putting yourself out there for the physical, for the mental, for a gain of some sort, then that's going to come back to you as well. And that commitment might not stay there as long as you would have hoped. Now, also, too, this is a very, very good indication about fertility. When we talk about witch, we talk about fertility. So if you all are in a marriage, in a committed relationship, there's talk about growing. So we could talk about a marriage of some kind, an engagement of some kind with this situation, or, if you're going to have a child or anything else, it's a very abundant time for all of you who are in marriages or things like that for relationships. Okay, so we do have some of the underworld themes here. We have the wolf theme, we have the moon thing. I'm telling you guys, the moon theme is going to be apparent. So if you have a lot of divine feminine energy during this time, you are feeling yourself, but also feeling the love, the ethereal approach of feeling love, of feeling that mystery that has to do with love, that kind of moon energy, lunar energy. So if you all are looking into the full moon situation, it probably would be in your best interest to kind of do some meditation, do some channeling on Monday if you can, especially with it being the full moon, and also to kind of talk about, when you talk about love or relationships, that there is the light side and the dark side. And this with the underworld is talking about a shift in thinking, a shift in knowing, a shift in moving forward, but also to represent that each one of you who chose group number one here is all really about shadow energy. So if you all are grappling with the shadow energy, with working with shadow, with working with mystery, you can also have a partner who is very, very mysterious or very, ethereal in and of themselves. Or you also could be feeling a lot of that Cancerian energy with that moon energy too that's happening and occurring. occurring. So if you are dealing with a lot of the shadow parts of love, or the not so good parts of love, or if you're dealing with overcoming things that are underneath the surface, or if you're overcoming a lot of that dark shadow energy, this is really a time for you to figure out, who do you want in your life? What do you want that relationship to look like? What kind of message is Spirit sort of giving you? And it really is, to me, very clear, group number one, that Spirit, as far as love is concerned, is showing you that you have a very big magnetism. There's an animal magnetism there. There's a deep, deep intuitive approach to things. There is a deeper knowing of things. Now, when we talk about the underworld, we also talk about death, rebirth. We talk a lot about that in that type of a card or a situation. So this could also mean that there's going to be a lot of rebirth, a lot of death, a lot of things. The old way of things are no longer going to be in the future. If you are pursuing someone, if you're already in a relationship with someone, basically you can't do things the way that you used to do them, group number one. There has to be a specific goal or area in your life that you're looking towards and looking for and trying to move forward with that. And also by being yourself, your genuine self, but also understanding that a lot of that sexual energy or a lot of that emotional energy needs to be used and harnessed in a way that's going to help you deal with your light energy, but then also deal with the shadow energy, and then choosing who you want to be around you. So the outcomes are over here for the Sacred Destiny cards. Yeah, so we have stillness. So there's a very, very big theme here around the nighttime, around quiet, around the full moon. So if you all are kind of contemplating who you want to be with, there is a type of stillness that is occurring within you that's making you try to determine who this person is, what you want from them. If you are in a marriage or commitment, it's also a time for reflection. This is a time for reflection, group number one. If you're looking into a situation, or if you're dealing with a love that is fizzling out, if you're dealing with a love that is not committed to you, then that stillness gives you the time to connect and talk with Spirit, and then kind of move forward from that point of where do you want to go in your future. This is very much futuristic also too, with a lot of this moon energy, the wolf energy, a lot of that. Where do you want to go after this situation is occurring? So that stillness is important. That quiet meditative state is important for you to achieve that. So through the stillness, we do have the love thriving. We have things that are thriving for you. So if you are wondering about love in your life, if you're wondering about connecting to a love in your life, and you've gone through that stillness and you know what you're feeling and what you're thinking, we have that light that's appearing, that thriving. You are thriving in your life, in your situation. You're thriving in a lot of other areas, like your career, possibly your spirit, all these other things. And you would like to be thriving in love, but you would have to get that shadow energy under control in order to kind of thrive and move forward, or accept the good parts and the bad parts, accept the shadow energy within yourself and within others. Know that everyone is different. There's not going to be two of the same people. So understanding what you want will help you to kind of thrive in love. And of course, we have the sparrow bird with delight, which is a new beginning. This is about happiness. This is about finding that fine line between love and lust, between commitment and non-commitment, between the shadow energy and the light energy for love. So those are really positive messages, or messages to help you get there. as far as finding a love. So now we're going to look at some of the tarot. I'm just going to pull these for whatever we have. So we have Nine of Pentacles. Yes. So a very, very abundant situation happening here. This means that you are at a point or somewhere in your life where you are fulfilled by money. You are fulfilled by career. You are fulfilled in a lot of ways physically, but maybe possibly on the flip side, you might not be emotionally sound or emotionally connected to other people or to this other person, but you are a very generous person, group number one. You are a very committed person. You really, really do give the best parts of yourself. I think a lot of you might be dealing with, coming to terms with that shadow energy, but with that Nine of Pentacles, you really, really do give a lot of the abundance to others, and you create abundance in your situation, which is probably why a lot of people, group number one, are attracted to you. If you're married, you create a lot of money. Yeah, so we have the Three of Cups with the Fate. Okay, so we talk about the Three of Cups with the underworld. As you can see here, we have the three fates, okay? So we have the three fates here. We have the three fates here. We have this three energy going on here. Which is indicative of like what you think three times comes back to you. What you see is joy and fulfillment. There is a lot of faith that goes into what you are feeling. So, you are fated for something, group number one, when it comes to love and romance. The thing is that you're dealing with, again, the light and that dark energy. And it's just the fates are going to make this person, whomever they are, come into your life for a purpose, for a spiritual purpose, for a karmic purpose. You just have to be patient in the stillness to understand who is that person, where are they coming from, what is going to happen in the circumstances. So no surprise here, we also have the Queen of Pentacles. So if you guys are either earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, the Queen of Pentacles is really, really important because that shows, again, the abundance, the ability, I guess we could say, to have that kind of magic with the Witch card of creating things for yourself. So if you are surrounded by a lot of people in your circle who you do not care for, who are not helping you, if you are not finding a love in that inner circle, group number one, it is time for you to move on from that. It is time for you to get into many different circles and kind of show your abundance or have that kind of ability to attract with that witch energy. Also, I'm going to say, because what Spirit's saying this to me, is that if you have money or have come into money or have done something with money, group number one, it's very important to be humble, but at the same time to know that you are supported, that you don't need to find a love to support this type of situation with money or with monetary value, because you all want to do that yourself and be independent, but just to understand who is with you for your own heart. Spirit's letting me know who is with you for your own heart, and not just your wallet, not just what you can give, not just what that magic that you can create for almost any person. There's a very fine line there because of the abilities that you have, group number one, to really attract things to you. So you got to figure out who is in your inner circle, who do you want to be around, who gives you the abundance the most. Yeah, I believe this to be true too. We have the Four Wands. There is a lot of victory. There is a lot of good times. You guys are really partying type of people. You meet a lot of different people. You're very free in your approaches with people. You really love to feel everything physically, emotionally, mentally. You guys might be a little bit of a partier if you are single. If you are committed, everybody wants to come over to your home, your apartment, wherever you live. They really, really rejoice with you. If you are married or committed, there's a lot of people that come to you basically to have that goodness instilled in them. So you will have victory if you can find out what this shadow energy is really coming in for, what is working for you and what is not working for you, group number one. Yeah, so I knew we were going to see it eventually, the Ten of Swords. There is so much pain that has happened to you in the past, group number one, that you are trying to make sense of. The parts of you that have gotten to this point, that type of shadow energy, what are you using to kind of combat that? But also too, with the Ten of Swords, we are learning a huge lesson about the mental side of things, about the feeling of things. When you kind of have this attraction, so to speak, to someone who is maybe not the most healthiest for you, how do you move past that? How do you move past relationships that are not healthy for your spirit or not healthy for your own situation? So that Ten of Swords really talks about the feeling of entrapment, but the feeling of also letting go of that mentally. Where are the mental traps, group number one, that you fall into for love? So Spirit's kind of letting you know you have to think this through. If you're looking for someone who you're committed to, the thing with the whole moon energy too, you guys, is that that person could really not be who they say they are. There's a lot of illusion happening. So that's why you have to determine what is the most important to you and what you are basically looking for. Yeah, so I can sense this a lot in this reading about the Five of Pentacles, because there is a fear in you guys. I don't know why, because you are such abundant people when it comes to career, money, anything like that. Now, I will say that if there are some of you coming to group number one and you are looking about love messages from Spirit, there could be some of you that are divorced or not in a committed relationship or just left a committed relationship. And there is a lot of fear of the lack of abundance, the lack of love, the lack of what you're feeling. The other thing about this Five of Pentacles energy is that you feel like there is a part of you that is not independent. You are dependent on someone or something, and that is not true, group number one. You have the ability to make your own money, to make your own path, to make your own career. The other thing about the Five of Pentacles energy that's really important is the fact that after these relationships maybe don't go as well as you hoped, through that in poverty, you still have the ability to open up the door for yourself, to change the feeling of lack, the feeling of pain, the feeling of not being loved, because the only person who can truly really open up that heart for you, group number one, is yourself. You can love yourself, be committed to yourself, moving forward. So the Six of Wands, again, we have a lot of the showmanship, a lot of the center stage aspect, much with the Four of Wands. I'm telling you, group number one, you guys are there for the party. You guys really stand out. You have to understand that in love, you guys might be facing a lot of heartbreaks on the inside with that dark night of the soul or that shadow energy that you're feeling. But on the outside, you are performing for people. There is an aspect of you that just kind of sucks people into you, that people want to be around you. You really are that flame. You know, you really are the flame for so many moths. And that's part of the issue, because you really do shine through on the outside. But we're talking about what's going on the inside that can affect this. Yeah, so then we have the Five of Wands energies. Just like I said, there's a lot of discourse, a lot of things that are not harmonizing for you. There's a lot of discord going on the inside, but then on the outside, you are portraying something else. So through the discord, I guess the most important thing to take away from this love reading, group number one, is through the discord, you have to figure out what you want, Who do you want it to come from? And also kind of understand that you are in a better place than you realize yourself. You have the opportunity to be yourself, but also to choose the person that you are supposed to be with in some type of capacity. But you have to be okay with yourself and working on some of the shadow energy that is ever present within you. Group number 1, I really hope that this reading did help in some type of way if you are looking for love or if you are looking for specific messages from spirit. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. I will be doing more pick-a-card readings. I'm going to be figuring out some other things that I do want to do with the channel, so definitely take a look at all that. And also on my Instagram, you can go there to take a look at some of the postings of what I'll be doing there. But as always, I hope that you kind of take this into your heart and kind of learn something from it. But I also hope to see you soon.